Section 4. Real estate advertising, ways to lose your real estate license. Real estate advertising, ways to lose your real estate license. The following morning, Michael walked into the weekly sales meeting carrying a stack of printed advertisements. Some were postcards, others were Facebook ads, Instagram posts, YouTube thumbnails, Google advertisements, and even screenshots from personal websites. He spread them across the conference table without saying a word. Ashley looked around the room. "What are all these?" Michael smiled. "These are some of the fastest ways for an Arizona real estate licensee to receive a phone call from ADRE. The room laughed. David picked up one of the advertisements and immediately noticed something missing. "I don't see the brokerage anywhere on this one." Michael nodded. "Exactly." He picked up another advertisement. "This one promises buyers they'll make thousands in guaranteed equity." He tossed it aside and grabbed another. "This one advertises another broker's listing without properly identifying the listing brokerage." Ashley looked surprised. "They all seem like small mistakes." Michael smiled. "And that's exactly why advertising violations are one of the most common complaints received by the Arizona Department of Real Estate." He explained that many agents believe advertising simply means placing a home in the multiple listing service or printing a flyer. Arizona law defines advertising much more broadly. Under ARS Section 32-2101, advertising includes nearly every method used to promote real estate services or induce another person to buy, sell, lease, exchange, or otherwise acquire an interest in real property. That definition includes printed advertisements, postcards, yard signs, brochures, websites, blogs, email campaigns, text message marketing, online videos, social media posts, digital advertisements, podcasts, and virtually every other form of public marketing used by today's real estate professionals. Ashley laughed. "So basically, everything." Michael nodded. "That's a pretty accurate summary. If your name appears next to real estate services and the public can see it, there's a good chance it's considered advertising." David added another thought. "And the moment it's advertising, Arizona law applies." Michael walked to the whiteboard and wrote another statute. AAC R4-28-502. This administrative rule, he explained, contains many of Arizona's advertising requirements. Every designated broker is responsible for supervising advertising produced by the brokerage. But every associate broker and salesperson also has an independent responsibility to ensure their advertising complies with Arizona law. Saying, "Someone else made my flyer," isn't a defense if your name appears on it. Ashley looked down at one of the postcards. "So what gets agents into trouble most often?" Michael didn't hesitate. "The brokerage name." He explained that one of the most common advertising violations investigated by ADRE involves failing to identify the employing broker in a clear and prominent manner. Many agents spend hours creating beautiful marketing pieces with large photographs, personal logos, and catchy slogans, only to hide the brokerage name in tiny print at the bottom of the page, where consumers can barely read it. David smiled. "I've reviewed thousands of advertisements over the years, and almost every time someone tells me the brokerage logo is there, I need a magnifying glass to find it." Everyone laughed. Michael continued. "The purpose of the rule isn't to promote the brokerage. It's to protect consumers. When the public sees an advertisement, they deserve to know which licensed brokerage is responsible for the services being offered." He explained that the employing broker represents the client under Arizona law, while the salesperson or associate broker represents the employing broker. Advertising should make that relationship obvious, rather than creating the impression that an individual agent is operating independently. Ashley picked up another advertisement from the table. "This one says, 'The Valley Dream Team.' I don't see the brokerage here either." Michael nodded. "That's another common issue." He explained that Arizona allows teams to advertise using a team name, but the same advertising rules apply. Team advertising must clearly identify the employing broker in a manner that is easy for consumers to recognize. A large team logo with a tiny brokerage logo hidden in the corner is unlikely to satisfy the spirit of the rule. David smiled. "I always tell my agents something very simple. If a consumer has to search for your brokerage, your advertisement probably needs work." Michael held up a screenshot for the social media page. "What about this?" Ashley looked at the screen. "It's just an Instagram post." Michael smiled. "No, it's advertising." He explained that one of the biggest misconceptions in today's market is believing social media somehow operates under different rules. Whether the advertisement appears on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Threads, or another platform, Arizona advertising laws still apply. If the purpose is to promote real estate services, attract clients, or market property, the advertisement must comply with Arizona law, just as if it appeared in a newspaper or magazine. David laughed. "Technology changes. The law doesn't." Michael nodded. "The delivery method may be different, but honesty never goes out of style." He then displayed another advertisement. This one says, "Guaranteed investment opportunity." Ashley immediately shook her head. I know that's not good. Michael smiled. Exactly. He explained that one of the quickest ways to invite an investigation is by making guarantees about future profits, appreciation, investment performance, or market conditions. No licensee can predict future appreciation, interest rates, rental income, or resale value with certainty. Statements such as guaranteed appreciation, risk-free investment, or this neighborhood always goes up in value can easily become allegations of misrepresentation if market conditions change. He reminded the class that ARS Section 32-2153 authorizes disciplinary action against licensees who knowingly publish false or misleading statements concerning their business or property being offered for sale. The safest advertisements are truthful, factual, and capable of being verified. Ashley looked thoughtful. So advertising isn't really about marketing. Michael smiled. It's about trust. If consumers can't trust your advertising, they probably won't trust your advice. He continued by explaining that every advertisement should be reviewed before publication. Experienced brokers encourage agents to ask several simple questions before clicking post. Is every statement accurate? Can every claim be verified? Is the brokerage clearly identified? Could any statement reasonably mislead a consumer? If an ADRE investigator reviewed this advertisement tomorrow, would I be comfortable defending every word that appears on it? David smiled. I've stopped more disciplinary problems with a 5-minute advertising review than almost anything else I've done as a broker. Michael nodded. And that's why good brokers review advertising. They're not trying to slow agents down. They're trying to keep them licensed. Ashley gathered the advertisements into a neat stack. I used to think advertising was about getting attention. Michael smiled. But make sure you're getting attention from buyers, not investigators. Real-world Arizona example. An Arizona salesperson created a professional Facebook advertisement promoting a new listing. The photographs were excellent, the property description was accurate, and the advertisement generated significant public interest. However, the employing broker's name appeared only as a tiny logo near the bottom of the image, making it difficult for consumers to identify the brokerage. Following a consumer complaint, ADRE reviewed the advertisement and determined it failed to clearly and prominently identify the employing broker as required under AAC R428-502. Although the violation appeared minor, it resulted in corrective action and served as an important reminder that even professionally designed marketing must comply with Arizona advertising laws. Broker tip: before publishing in any advertisement, ask another person to look at it for 5 seconds. If they immediately recognize your brokerage, understand the message, and don't identify anything misleading, you're probably headed in the right direction. If they have to search for your brokerage name or ask what your advertisement means, revise it before it reaches the public. Online discussion question 1. Why do you think advertising violations remain one of the most common complaints received by ADRE? Model answer: advertising is everywhere. Agents use websites, social media, email campaigns, videos, postcards, signs, and digital marketing every day. Because advertising is so frequent, even small compliance mistakes can quickly become violations if advertisements are not reviewed carefully. Question 2. Why is it important that the employing broker's name be clear and prominent in advertising? Model answer: consumers should immediately know which licensed brokerage is responsible for the services being offered. Clearly identifying the brokerage promotes transparency, protects the public, and helps maintain accountability. Question 3. Michael says advertising is really about trust. What does he mean by that statement? Model answer: advertising is often a consumer's first impression of a real estate professional. Truthful, accurate, and transparent advertising builds credibility, while misleading or incomplete advertising can damage public confidence and lead to disciplinary action.